Hello everyone, I'm Batpan, a bat who eats apple a day to keep the doctor away. In today's video, we're gonna dive into creating an eating system inspired by Fierce to Fathom in Unity, essentially how to eat little by little to achieve that effect. This video is part of a series covering the tips and tricks, as well as another series focused on features from the game Fierce to Fathom in Unity. I've also released my own retro horror game called Fractured Psyche. You can find a link in the description to it. I'm currently working on an Android port for it. All the files and resources used in this video will be available on my GitHub. You can again get to it with a link in the description. With all that being said, let's put on the mask and begin. We have this plate, there's a pizza on it. What you're gonna do with your food, anything, you can use any food in here. What you're gonna do with your food is you're gonna slice it, or download a model that is sliced. This model was not sliced, I actually sliced it myself inside Blender. I can just deactivate some parts of it. I made it so I can gain that effect of us eating stuff. So you need a food that is sliced. I'm actually using the FPS controller from the Unity standard assets. If you don't have it, you can actually download it with a link in the description. So you have a pizza that is sliced. I made it a child of the plate, so it moves with the plate. You're gonna select the parent of it. Right now I gave the collider to my plate. You gotta give it a collider so we can interact with it and eat the pizza. By default it is like this. There's only a plate and there's a pizza sliced. So I'm gonna select my plate. I'm gonna give it a box collider. So add component. I'm gonna add a box collider. As you see, my box collider is small. I want to be able to interact with it better, so I'm gonna click on this edit collider and I'm gonna make it bigger. Now I have a plate. I need to give it a tag so I can actually say that I'm actually interacting with the pizza and not for example with the chair or with the wall or anything else. With the plate selected, the object that has a collider, we gotta go to this tag section and I'm gonna give it a tag. So add tag, and I'm gonna click on this plus. I'm gonna say pizza and I'm gonna save it. Be careful, the characters, the capital and the small versions of the letter matter, so be careful. It has to be exactly the same thing in your script. So I'm going to select my plate and again I'm going to go to this tag section and I'm going to give it the new tag that I created, which is the pizza. And right now my plate is actually tagged as pizza and we can interact with it. We're going to go ahead and create the interaction system and eating the pizza. So to make it more funny, I actually found this sound effect that I'm going to use for my eating stuff. It's actually this. I'm going to download it. So now that it's been added to my project, it is this. So we need to create an audio source. I'm going to give my audio source to my camera, so add component and add an audio source. So it is going to play the audio, and by default I don't have any audio on it, and I'm going to deactivate this play on awake so it won't play any audios. Right now let's go ahead and create a script. So I'm going to create a folder. I'm going to call it scripts. So I'm going to create a mono behavior script. I'm going to call it Fierce to Fathom eating system. Double click to open it up. We don't need void start, so we can delete it. This is our script. We're going to work with it. I'm going to zoom in on it a little so you guys can actually see it better. I created this interaction system like multiple times in a lot of my videos, but again I'm going to make it because it is essential for this video. So we need a private boolean, so I'm going to call it private boolean. I'm going to call it can interact, which is equal to true because we can interact at the start of the game, which actually controls if we can interact or not. You'll see in the upcoming minutes. Then we need integer. I'm going to make it private integer and it is called slice eaten, which is equal to 0, and it is the amount of slice of pizza that we have eaten. The next thing we need is serialized field private game object. I'm going to make it an array and I'm going to call it pizza pieces. So if you don't know what this is, it is actually called an array. It is just a way of saying, instead of saying, I don't know, game object, pizza 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Instead of saying this, I just, give it like this, and I put these 4 objects inside one actual object. And when you want to, access it, you just give it the number. For example, house number 0, it is, the item number 1. House number 1 is actually the item number 2. Then I'm going to create a serialized field private audio source that we just created. I'm going to call it source. And I'm going to play my audio clip on it. Then I need a serialized field private audio clip, which is eating clip. This eating clip is actually the clip that I just showed you that I downloaded, which was actually funny, and I'm going to use it in my script. And that is everything we need for this script. Let's go ahead and say void update. So first thing first, we're gonna check if we can interact or not. Then we go ahead and interact. So we say if can interact is equal to true. If we can interact, we go inside and interact. So for interaction, we can just check if we press the left mouse key. I want to interact with the left mouse key. So I'm just gonna say if input.get mouse button down 0. So if we press the left mouse, we go ahead and shoot array, which is equal to camera.main. Don't worry, I'm gonna explain it. Viewport point array, new vector 3, 0.5f, 0.5f, and 0. And we also need a raycast hit. I'm gonna call it hit. So what this actually is an invisible laser thing, is an invisible thing that will be shot in the direction the camera's looking at, and it's gonna take the center of the screen, the center of where we're looking at, and it's gonna shoot that ray in that direction. Then it's gonna hit an object, then it's gonna be, put inside this hit value. So we say if it actually hits anything, so if physics that's raycast, so, and I'm gonna give it like a distance of 5. So what this line does is it's gonna check if the laser that we shot actually hit anything in a distance of 5. If it did, we go ahead and check if the thing we hit had a tag of pizza. So we're just gonna say if hit that collider, that compare tag, if it had the tag of pizza. Do you remember when I said, this tag should be exactly the same as the tag you created? The capital and the small versions of the letter matter. So this is exactly where I said we would use it. So be careful, it has to be exactly the same thing as your tag. What we did is when we press the left, if we can interact, we go ahead and we check if we press the left mouse. If we did, we shoot a laser and we check if it actually hits anything in a distance of 5. If it did, then we go aside and check if the thing it hit had the tag of pizza. If it did, we go ahead and do a function. And that function is, like eating the pizza. I'm not gonna put the function here. I'm gonna create an enumerator. We want to eat the pizza, but we don't want to, eat a pizza like a gun. So we can, just left click and just eat it, rapidly and without any time in between. To stop it from happening, we're gonna put it inside an enumerator. So enumerator, I'm gonna call it eat pizza CO, which CO stands for coroutine. It's gonna, give an error. So we're just gonna yield return new, wait for seconds. We're gonna wait for 1 second. When we interact with the pizza, we just want to run this function. So start coroutine eat pizza CO. We're gonna go ahead and create the eating function inside here. First thing first, we wanna, when we interact, we wanna stop interacting again until we're ready. So I'll just say can interact equal to false. The boolean we just created up here, that would actually allow us to interact or not. So we say we cannot interact until we've eaten the pizza and we have waited for 1 second. We wanna, play the audio first, then, eat the pizza. So we say source, the audio source we created, that play one shot, and it's gonna play the audio clip we said, so eating clip. So let's check which, slice we should eat. So we're gonna say if slice eaten is 0, we go ahead and eat the first slice. Else if slice eaten is 1, else if slice eaten is 2, or else if eaten slice eaten is 3. So we're gonna check if we didn't eat any slice before. We say slice eaten is 1. You can copy it and paste it for all the others. So 2, 3, and 4. So if it is 0, we make it 1. So the next time we eat the second slice. So now how to say we eat the first slice or second slice. As you remember, we made an array of game objects up here. So we're just gonna say if we didn't eat anything, we say pizza pieces house number 0 dot set active false, which is gonna take the first item of this array and it's gonna deactivate it, and we can just copy it and paste it for all the other conditions and just say 0, 1, 2, and 3. If we didn't eaten any slice before, it's gonna eat the first slice. If we have eaten once before, it's gonna eat the second slice, and so on until it reaches 4. And when it reaches 4, I'm not gonna eat anything. We're gonna create that function. What happens if we have eaten a slice? We're gonna wait for 1 second, so we are we have finished eating. Then we go ahead and can eat it again. So we say can interact equal to true again. And what it does is it's gonna stop us from interacting again. It's gonna play this eating audio, and then it's gonna eat a slice based on the slice we've given it, and it's gonna wait for 1 second. Then it's gonna allow us again to eat another slice. I want to stop eating when our slice eaten is either 4 or bigger. So we're just gonna say if the slice is finished. So how to say if the slice is finished? We have 4 slices. If we have eaten all of them, then we have no slice. So we're just gonna create that condition here. So slices eaten is bigger or equal to 4. So if the slice is eaten is either 4 or bigger than that, we just go inside here and say return. What this return does is it's gonna return our code, and it's not gonna go ahead and come to this, and it's gonna stop it right here. And you can just make it shorter, just saying slice eaten is bigger or equal to 4, just say return. This is a smaller versions of writing it instead of writing it that way. So this is our script on how to eat pizza and do some stuff. So we are done now. Let's go ahead and check it out. I'm gonna select my camera. Be careful, you have to give the script to your camera. I'm gonna drag and drop my script onto my camera. As you see, it needs some pizza pieces. So for the pizza pieces, I'm gonna give it like 4. It has 4 items, and I'm gonna give it item 1, item 2, item 3, and item 4. And it also needs an audio source. You can drag and drop your audio source here. You can just click on the circle and find your audio source. Then it needs the audio clip. Now for the audio clip, I downloaded this audio source. So I'm gonna select my camera and I'm gonna, drag and drop my audio clip onto it. And that is it. We can go ahead and check it out. So see, it ate the first one, and you see it waits for 1 second, then it allows us to eat again. So we've eaten enough, and when we click again, it's not gonna eat anymore. So that was how to create this eating system like Fierce to Fathom in Unity, eating little by little. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, a like would be very amazing. You can subscribe to see more contents like this. You can tell me anything in the comment section below, maybe suggestions, anything you want to say. I would be very happy to read it and answer it. Thank you guys so much for all your support. You guys are amazing. I see all your comments, all your energies, and all your suggestions. I see all of that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.